is the structure of the project and what Rio Tinto brings with this project. So although this is a knowledgeable audience, I will simplify it. So there is a mining to produce the ore. So then there is a primary beneficiation to turn ore into concentrate. And then there is industrial processing facility to turn concentrate into battery-grade lithium carbonate, which is the input for the electric batteries. So the capital required to build the first two steps is just 1/2 of the capital required for the third step. So basically, this downstream processing that we're bringing here is something that we are, as I mentioned, proud of. Firstly, that we have developed it. This is totally new mineral. This required a significant effort. We had a continuous pilot plant in Australia who worked on that for a couple of years with a lot of investments, with 50 international vendors. Final flow sheet has like 1,000 pieces altogether. So I believe this is in the concept of the topic of this panel. I think this is the most important message that we are conveying here.
Very good, thank you. And Stephen, any perspectives on the particularly how stakeholders view mining projects in this part of the world compared to the other areas you've worked?
So what we have found is that it's probably sort of a bifurcation between national stakeholders, the politicians, government, some of the corporates. They truly see this opportunity and they're much more informed about it. I have personally found less understanding, appreciation, and information among more local communities or the rank and file citizens. So there's quite a bit that can and should be done to open everybody's eyes to the extent of opportunity that's available, because it also enhances the possibility of more accountable use of these resources. So I think the corporates can help with this agenda. I mean, some of the work that Fabian was pointing out that they've done with communities, some of the work that I know Rio Tinto has been doing with communities is exactly what to do, because we need to have both the national level and state agencies be aware, but also want the citizens to be as informed to be able to make choices or to enforce choices on their leaders. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. I can see that we're out of time now, so thank you so much to our panelists, and over to Jagada.
Thank you, Garen. Thank you to the panels. This is also a very interesting panel. Now I would like to invite our next moderator, Mr. Aleksandar Vulovic, to invite his panelists to the stage for the next panel, The Best International Practice and Sustainable Mining. And while they are coming to the stage, because after this we will have a lunch break, so I want just to invite you also to the next room during the lunch break, of course, to meet booths. We have booths from companies Stettion Resources, Karmeuse, Dreger, ALS, Metso, Jantar Grupa, Oshtu Stettin, FL Smith, Microcontrol, Labena, and then Data Mine. So they prepare very nice presents for you, so use your time during lunch and coffee breaks and visit the booths, please.
Oh, no, I think we have to look at go back and... Oh, you had over there. Your Excellency, is it working? Jagoda, it's working. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and privilege to be here again. So now we have one interesting panel discussion. The whole point of this panel, it's kind of like to actually explain and say what's going on in the world, and kind of like to give us a confidence back that mining can be sustainable. Because at this moment there is so many mining failures globally. So this will be a good opportunity to see what's going on in the world and how that can be applicable here in Serbia. So I would like to invite Mr. Gregoire Damien to stand up and give us his view on this topic and presentation about Carmel's company.
Thank you, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to share with you today some reflection on how to make our mining activities more sustainable. So I will shortly explain you who Carmeuse is, and then how we try to integrate and to measure progress in terms of sustainability, and then how our product can help our customers to progress in terms of sustainability. So, Carmeuse is an international group present in Americas, Africa, Asia, and in Europe, and in particular in Serbia, with a lime plant in Jelendo with 2 quarries. We are specialized in lime production and lime services. We operate quarries, obviously, and we have next year, we will celebrate next year our 160th anniversary. So this is quite an old company, and we will see that in such a company, long term is important. We serve a large variety of markets, essentially in the industry, from the steel industry to the non-ferrous, but also gas treatment, desulfurization of fumes, water treatment, neutralization, and so on. So you see on this slide that it's really a large variety of applications where lime is important. It is not that visible for the public in general, but it's really important for the industry. So how do we integrate sustainability? As I mentioned, 160 years of activities gave us some importance of long-term, and long-term is really linked to sustainability. So that's why we built a lot on that value. We have that value in our DNA. How do we do? We, as a mining operation, we know that social relation, social importance of our activity, that's something we are aware, but we also know that we consume natural resources, and we have to take care about that. We are responsible of the good use of these natural resources. And so, for that reason, we developed a long-standing sustainability strategy based on 3 aspects. The first one is to create internally a sustainability culture. The second one is to have everywhere a local relationship management. And the third one is a set of plans and programs focusing on sustainability. And I will develop a little bit these 3 aspects. So the first one, internal sustainability culture, that is a change. It is not easy to do. And one way, this is an example, one way to do it, it's to have internally what we call a sustainability award. So we ask all our operations, quarries, to propose every year one ID, one project, and at the end, we just designated last week the winner for this year, but at the end we have roughly 60 sustainability projects, and with that we federate employees around sustainability. We tell them, you are authorized to think more sustainably, and we cross-fertilize good ideas. So that's first part of the strategy. The second one is local relationship management. We are partners with our neighbors, with the farmers working around us, with the municipalities, but that is important for us to create this relation, and for that we train our people to communicate and work with partners around us. And for that reason, we try to develop local contact committees with our neighbors. We explain them because they want to understand what we do, they want to be informed about what we do, and they want to have a say. And so this is what we call the local relationship management. And the third aspect is plans and programs, and here are some examples. When we speak about the people pillar of sustainability, we have a foundation supporting children in need around our facilities, but we are also in contact with local schools. I will not speak about safety and training of our people, obviously. When we speak about the planet pillar, we develop photovoltaic electricity. We have large areas, and we try to use these large areas to build photovoltaic farms, and we started 2 years ago with 2 lime plants where we are able to auto-produce 15% of our electricity with these photovoltaic farms. I will not speak about the biodiversity, which is really developed in our quarries because of the nature of our quarries, because of the protection we provide to these species. And regarding prosperity, we focus on best available technologies. We focus on biomass to fuel our kilns, to reduce our CO2 footprint, and on alternative transportation modes like train and waterways. So these are examples of our plans and programs. How do we evaluate that? We decided some years ago to take part of an international rating platform called EcoVadis. EcoVadis is measuring our efficiency in terms of environment, social ethics, and sustainable procurement, and they rank our efficiency, and we are very proud to have several gold level from them. So now our product also can support sustainability, and here are some examples in different applications. High quality lime can help reducing CO2, can help reducing consumption of material, can help to remove pollutants from water, from the air. So these are examples of where lime can support sustainability in the downstream applications. So as a conclusion, we as mining operators, we face challenges, that is for sure, and we are really committed to use our long-standing sustainability strategy to address these challenges. We produce products and services that are part of the solution, and we would like, that's our goal, to become a sustainability benchmark. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Damien. Now we have Peter Robinson, Chief Advisor for Metal Fair.
Good afternoon. Sustainable mining. What do we mean by sustainable mining? What I mean by sustainable mining is that the future of developing a mine is that it has to be a good, or at least an acceptable neighbour within the community. What I would like to talk to you about this afternoon is what I believe is the key issue in being a good neighbour, if not the most important mining issue, which is the management of the waste stream. When we go mining, we are after the metals, minerals, and we talk an awful lot about the copper, the lead, the zinc. But we've got to remember, we produce a far greater quantity of mineral waste than saleable product. And the management of that waste stream, to me, is probably a key, if not the most important issue in making a mine a good neighbour. Mining, it's not an optional extra. Everything that we use as a society is either dug, pumped, or grown in the ground. And I've put that to many conferences, and I've had very clever people challenge me that that's rubbish. And often they find it hard to dispute that. Mining minerals from the earth is an essential to our society. Mine is not an option, as I've said, and the issue is how and where we do it. It is very important to understand that mining is a temporary land use. Therefore, environmentally sustainable mineral disposal is a key factor in achieving this objective. It is our responsibility to borrow the land, take out the mineral that is needed, and then put the land back in an acceptable manner for future generations. The key to developing a new mine is to plan its closure and allow the extraction of the mineral to come along behind. Therefore, the key issue is how do we dispose of the waste, which we are not taking to market, we are leaving at the mine site. And we have to then dispose of that waste in a manner that we create landforms that return the land, maybe not to the same condition, but to a beneficial condition for future generations. I'm going to talk briefly about two processes in mining. The first, that is the conventional, we all know, gravitational ore processing, which is based on flotation. Crushing, heavy media, separation, grinding, flotation, filtration. Very established. One of the key issues when we've continued that process is the waste. Traditionally, we take the waste and we pump it, probably at 5-7% solid, in water to a settlement lagoon. Water is both essential to mining and our greatest problem. Managing water probably occupies most mining operations more of their time than anything else. And pumping our waste in water is a huge logistical task when we're putting it in a dam and allowing it to settle and returning the water. We've then got the problems of discharge of that water, pollution, effect on local communities, and quite frankly, safety. After we've seen what happened in Brazil earlier this year, the disposal of